Here come your Rockets!
All right, Rocket sports fans, we're at the end of the road here, at least for the regular season. This week the Rockets will have senior night and host Calloway County. And then it's off to the second season. Coach Courtney, we have our guest today. Of course, the coach, Hall of Famer Gaige Courtney, Rocket Hall of Famer. We have three juniors, Pointy, KYP is what you call it, and Sassy. We'll get you their real names. This is Brayden Poindexter, and look at Brayden Brandsasse. And don't try to spell the way they mix all these Braydens up and such. And then Keegan's in the middle, Keegan Pierson. But that's their nicknames. If you hear them on the sideline, it's Sassy, Pointy, and KYP.
That's right. That's how we know them.
Easier to know them by.
Yeah.
So, welcome to the show, presented by Whitetail Properties and the Mark Williams Land Team, and also in cooperation with all of our fine sponsors here in the community, Par 4 Plastics, Deer Lakes Golf Course, Colonel Ag, Farmers Bank and Trust in Marion, H&H Home and Hardware. Hey, and the beard guy, they got the beard, you'll see it in the press. In the early bird, the beard winner. You had a chance, you should have got down there. Right. Johnson's Furniture and Appliance in Marion, KB Pharmacy, Mike Keller and Bradley Boone, pharmacists. USA Mortgage, Derek Myers is going to get one more chance to shoot off some of his rockets this week. Seed Plant Federal Credit Union, attorneys Bart Frazier and Kobe Evans. Riley Tool Machine, voice of the Rockets is Todd Riley. Mulligan's Pizzeria and Pub, YTG Insurance, Tanner Tabor, and Hodges Sports and Apparel. It's deer season, don't forget that. Buy your license down there. Only place you can walk in and get a license in Marion. Full Body Fitness Studio, Serena Dickerson. Well, Coach, we need to talk a little bit about last week's game at Caldwell, and then we're going to move on to this week. Of course, tough loss over there at Caldwell the other night. Just kind of things got away from us. We led that game at 3 different times, and it just got away at the end. A lot of crazy things happened. And then we'll talk about the players of the game. So, Caden Howard again, 2 weeks in a row. He either tied or broke a record, and over there he had 13 catches. So he caught Ethan Dossett's record against Ballard Memorial. Of course, Dossett had like 400 yards. Yeah. It's pretty close to it. Yeah. But Caden was your offensive player of the game. Talk a little bit about his performance.
Yeah, he just played really well, caught the ball well, made plays, all levels of the field as far as a receiver. Just played really well, as he normally does. And Quinn was able to get in the ball in situations, and we're able to take advantage of some one-on-one things, and he was able to make some plays. So he did a great job. He's a really good receiver and continues to make plays for us.
He's just a great ball control receiver, isn't he? I mean, he does a great job on the sideline, knows where the marker's at.
Yeah.
Does a good job. I thought he did a great job with there. I know he's upset last couple of weeks, 2 losses, but he's had 2 great games. On defense, Pointy, middle linebacker there, Poindexter had a big game.
Yeah.
7 solos, 7 assists.
Yep, 14 tackles. I believe a recovered fumble, maybe a tackle for loss or 2. I'm not sure exactly.
Yeah, tackle for loss, or recovery.
Yep, just played really well in there. They ran the ball a lot of the night, and he did a good job fitting in there and making a lot of plays. 14 tackles, a lot of tackles, and a good night for anybody. Yeah, and he played really well.
Lineman of the week was Carson Yates.
Yeah, Carson, he did a good job on their nose guard. Which the nose guard made some plays too, but we knew that he could give us some issues, and I think Coach Brown thought that he did a good job handling, especially in pass protection. Came in and played some defense and did a good job as well. So, Carson Yates.
And your special teams last week, now this is a little different. Your quarterback, Quinn Summers, of course, he's also a punter.
Yeah, I thought he did a good job punting the ball and flipping the field. He only got a couple opportunities, but I thought he did a really good job on that team. And we were pinned deep, especially once offensively, and I thought it was a big point in the game to get us out of there. And it really had a good punt and kind of put it where they couldn't make a return on it, and then got a good roll on it. So I thought you did a good job.
Mm-hmm. And, you said you only got a couple of punts off. You say that, you think, well, hey, we had a great game. Or we turned the ball over, which
that's the two.
We did down there. Had with 3 fumbles. I didn't even have that.
3 interceptions.
3 interceptions.
1 fumble.
1 fumble.
Yeah.
I forgot to put the fumbles in my stats last week. So, that, of course, that was a key game. Knocked us out of an opportunity to have a little higher seed going into the postseason. Now we're going to be the 4th seed out of the first district and have to go back to Owensboro Catholic. And it's never a fun place to play in an elimination game. And we're just going to have to get ready, aren't we? Yeah. So this week we get ready with Calloway County. And Callaway County comes into this game 0 for the season. So, this is where you can maybe lick some wounds and get through it and get a feel-good game, senior night. How many seniors we had?
Well, that's a good question anymore. I don't even know anymore. 9 or 10?
Yeah,
something like that.
Back then, something like that.
That'll be before the game.
Yes.
And you'll recognize all of fall sports.
I believe that's the way we've done it. So
typically do.
It's the same. Yeah.
So anyway, Callaway County rolls in here. Lakers, they're winless in 9 games. Like I said last week, they got wiped out 63-0 by Paducah Tillman. Our buddy Sean Thompson down there I don't know. Maybe he did have a little mercy on him. It probably could have been worse than that.
I don't know.
Tillman's pretty good.
Tillman's really good.
Lakers are 4 from the bottom in RPI and second in the Class 4A statewide RPI rankings, and they've averaged 1 touchdown a game. That's 70 points in 9 games, and allowed 441. That's 49 a game. So again, this is what they got a good running back. So tell us what you see out of Callaway County.
Yeah, I think they're big up front. The Logan Smith kid, I believe, number 15, is a good back. Runs it really hard. Got a couple athletes, 31 and 7, who can both make explosive plays. Both play receiver, but can move them around a little bit, can hand it to them, do different things with them. So we definitely got to be ready to play. I know that they haven't won a game, but that they play in a tough district, like you've kind of mentioned with Tillman, 4A football. They've had a lot of adversity. I know their coach pretty well, and they've had a lot of quarterback situation, losing their quarterback before the year, and then a couple of them, I believe, got hurt within. So it's just kind of left them maybe more one-dimensional than they expected, and kind of had to rebuild things and all that. So I understand with injuries and stuff how that can go, but I think that this will be their Super Bowl, and it'll be a very, very meaningful game for us too. It's senior night, or last time we get to play at Rocket Stadium for these seniors, and for them, I believe it'll be their last game of the year. I don't believe they'll make a playoff because I believe it's a 6-team district. So I believe that they'll come out and play really hard, and like I said, they're big and they're physical, and if there's something that we've had trouble with, this team's running the ball right at us, and I believe that that's what they're going to do. So I think we're going to have to do a better job than we've done all year to be able to get them off the field.
We come into this game having lost 2 in a row. That's 3 times this year we've lost 2 in a row. But we have not lost 3 games in a row since 2016.
Good.
So monkey's off our back.
Yeah, hopefully.
This is where you get feeling better for those playoffs. But yeah, like I said, Callaway County, just a team that's really for the last few years struggled. They've always played in that tough district, and just never have gotten much traction. I always look back on when Sam Harp. Do you remember Sam Harp?
I've heard that name a lot.
He was at Danville, won several state championships at Danville, and he was down at Callaway County in the 80s, back when I was down there. And he ended up. I believe he's a Hall of Fame coach. But he couldn't win there. Jack Haskins went down there and couldn't get it done. So a lot of great coaches have come in and out of there. It's just a tough place to, I guess, to.
I really don't know the
going.
dynamic.
Yeah,
of it. I really don't know.
So Let's take a quick break, and then we're going to come back and we're going to talk to these guys and hear about their journey in Rocket football. So we'll be back in just a moment. All right, we're back. We're going to visit with our football guys here today, and I think we're going to start out here with Sassy, big guy up front, and I tell you, he's an intense guy, Coach. But on the sideline, he's always talking. He's always having a good time. Now, the last 2 or 3 games, he's been on the ground a little bit too. He's been hurt. He's taking some tough knocks. I know that. But he's a tough kid. I remember when he played in Little League, trying to spell his name right when the first time I saw it when it came in here, I asked Tanner Tabor, I said, how do you spell that, man? I can't even hardly say it.
Yeah.
So, Brandsasse, talk a little bit about your journey in Rocket football, where it began and where you started taking off as a player.
Like, since I ever could start tackle football. I didn't do flag, none of that. Mom was too scared to hurt somebody. And then
you were afraid. Your mom was afraid you'd hurt somebody.
Yeah, because when I was in Henderson, they started tackle early, so I came here and they didn't do that. So she said no. And then got here and played a lot of Little League, and then had that flag football thing that the older guys do for us that we do now. And I was like, I want to be that so bad. And then just keep going. Now I'm here.
Yeah. So, who were your coaches in Little League football?
It's been so long.
It's not been long, man. I can remember all my Little League.
In Little League, I couldn't remember.
Yeah. What do you remember about playing junior pro football here?
I know I had Tanner. That's the most I
Yeah.
I remember playing linebacker in the day.
Mm-hmm.
That's it.
Linebacker.
Yeah.
You was a big old linebacker, weren't you? Did you have a red stripe on your helmet?
Yeah, I did.
They put those red stripes for guys that are bigger. Yeah, I forget what the weight. They changed the weight limit on that.
It used to be much bigger.
Yeah, I think they're changing it. So, what you've been a starter since his freshman year? I mean, he played a lot as a freshman. I remember. Well, you start every game. I don't know, but do you remember?
Yeah, what was it? Hurst went down against. I can't remember.
Hurst Minyard?
Webster,
Yeah,
wasn't it?
Hurst.
Madisonville.
Oh, Madisonville.
Yeah.
Second game of the year,
Yeah.
maybe?
Something like that, yeah.
Hurst went down, and then Deacon went down against Webster.
That's what.
And then it was I was time to step up. Came out, had a bad snap, but then it was rolling since then.
Of course, you played center, right out of the chute there, and then now you scooted over one spot.
Yep.
Playing a little tackle now. That's where you've been the last 2 years? You played center?
I played center last year.
Played center last year, yeah. So what do you think about the Friday night lights here in Crittenden County, and what does it mean to you playing at Rocket Stadium? Because Vicky got some tunes that are rolling up there too. What does it feel like for you out there?
It's just a whole different feeling. You got coming out the tunnel, everybody up there looking at you. You feel like all the little kids looking up at you, and you know it's time to perform. Like at away games, they be having that, and I'm like, it's not like home. It ain't like being home.
Yeah, it was kind of quiet over at Cotwell last week. They didn't even start playing any music till right about game time, and yeah, it's different anywhere you go. Those fans are set back farther than they are at our place. So, talk a little bit about Sassy, Coach.
Just a really good player. Like you said, he's been starting since a freshman and doing it up front. You know how hard that is, and center. Being able a lot of pressure on you and the snaps and stuff, being able to handle that as a freshman. He's just progressed every year. He can play all 5 spots up front. Really turned it on defensively. He's been really playing well for us. Worked hard in the offseason. Got a lot faster, I felt like, and I think that's really helped him this year. He's put together 3 really good, solid years of football. definitely one of our leaders up front, and probably our most physical player on the team. Extremely physical on both sides of the ball, and something that we really, need. We're smaller and all that, so we need a guy that can be our hammer, and I think that he probably is.
Mm-hmm. So, Keegan Pierson, of course, Keegan was offensive lineman, started a lot offensive lineman early in the year, and I think because some injuries ended up playing some end on defense, played a lot of defense now.
Mm-hmm.
Talk a little bit about you. Did you go to school here when you were younger?
I moved here in 4th grade.
4th grade, okay. I knew it was somewhere down the line. So did you came in, did you play 3rd and 4th grade football right after you got here?
Yes.
Talk about your journey in Rocket football and what it's been like. What's your greatest memories and such?
Oh, that's tough. My greatest memory is probably freshman year with all the seniors we had and stuff because they were really helpful. They taught me a lot.
Who were that? Who were some of those that come to mind?
Zach Counts, freshman year. Well, he was a junior. Deacon taught me a little bit before he got hurt.
Was Yates still around then? Dylan Yates?
No.
Was he was
There
gone?
before.
Yeah. So when did you feel like you really came into your own to be like a starter as a junior? Was it? Did it? You played a little bit last year. I remember you
I
coming
started
out.
my sophomore
He
year.
started.
You started,
last year.
yeah. So that's pretty strong, pretty good resume when you start 3 years in high school football. At what point did you realize that hey, I'm not bad at this? Because you played a little baseball too, didn't you?
Yeah. It was really like during the summer I could feel myself. I felt faster, I felt stronger, and then Coach Brown gave me that opportunity, and I just showed him that I could be able to start.
Mm-hmm. What is describe what it means to you to be able to play here on Friday nights when things are rocking?
It's amazing. Like, I'm not thinking about anything else, just football, football, football.
Yeah.
And you got all the fans yelling and stuff. You're just in a whole different mindset. Like, you're in a whole different world.
Yeah. Coach Courtney, talk a little bit about KYP.
KYP's a good athlete. Tackle, I don't know how tall are you? 6'2",
6'2".
Yeah, 6'2", long, like kind of what you want to be as a tackle or defensive end. Defensive end is something that we're growing at. I really expect him to have a good year defensively in the future. It's just kind of been new to him. He's just get offensively that's been his priority, and then some injuries have happened, and he's been forcing the defense and doing a good job when he's in there. But I really think he'll catch on defensively by next year and be a great two-way player for us. He's got a lot of dog in him. That's what I like about him. He's always up for a little fight, competition.
Mm-hmm.
He's going to be physical. He's not going to back down from anybody or be scared. And Sassy's the same way, and that's what you got to have up front. You got to have those tough guys up there between the lines that just don't care about nothing and are willing to, he'll get into it with somebody in practice about every other week or so. But I like it up front. That's kind of how you have to be. People don't understand that, but it can't just be a nice guy up front. You got to be able to have that in you, and that's probably his biggest attribute to me is that he's got that fight inside of him.
Yeah. They say at Mayfield there's fighter practice.
I'm not surprised. The more up you get in college, I'm telling you, it happens. Offense, defense are into it every day.
Yeah.
It's just so much pride and competition. It's nothing personal, just makes them better. And he gets that out of people, and it makes the person beside him better every time, too. Mm-hmm. So I like that.
Yeah.
Not that they fight.
Yeah.
And they don't fist fight at practice.
Right.
That's not what I'm saying. But they're competitive, and they're getting after it.
It's the way politics should be.
Yeah, right.
Disagree, and then get along later.
They love each other. Yes.
Yeah. But it's not quite that way in
Doesn't seem
politics.
that way. I stay out of it.
I tried to myself. So Pointy, Brayden Poindexter. Now he comes from a long line of football. His dad was a good player here. He played running back and linebacker. And your grandpa was a pretty good player. I wasn't here then, but I hear he was a pretty good football player too.
Yeah, he was a mean one.
He was the mean one
Oh yeah,
of the whole bunch.
oh yeah. I hear stories all the time how he's 155 pounds and he's dumping 300-pounders like it was nothing.
Yeah.
I mean, that's my goal one day, just to be able to go pick anybody I want, just tackle them.
Now I know. Did he tell you any stories? I know he passed away. It's been a while, but
Yeah, it's been a good minute.
So you were too young really to remember the stories and.
He didn't really talk much about himself. It was more coming from Dad and my grandma and just other family members. He never really talked about himself.
Yeah. I've always heard he was quite a player. And if you talk to your dad, he was quite a player too.
Yeah, he made a couple all-star teams, and he was WKC. What is it?
All WKC.
All
Yeah.
WKC.
Yeah, Jeremy's a good player. He was a real good player. He's pretty tough. He could run the football. That's back when you ran a dive a lot, Coach.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah, he told me the
Yeah.
other night how he had 750 rushing yards as a fullback. So I mean,
Yeah, he was good. We had a line of good fullbacks at that time, and he was one of them in that series that came through and just hard nosed and run the ball. So tell me a little bit about your journey. Of course, you from a 3-generation guy, family in football. It starts early, doesn't it?
mm-hmm. Yeah, I was playing as soon as I could touch a football. I was already tossing it with Connor and Dad, and I was playing flag, and then junior pro, 3rd, all the way up to 6, middle school, and then now I'm here.
Mm-hmm. Of course, you mentioned Connor. It's your younger brother, and he's a backup quarterback for the team this year. And what is he, a sophomore?
Freshman
this year. And he's been in a few games.
Yeah, he's been in a couple times. He's shown that he's got that grit in him sometimes.
Mm-hmm. He broke his arm last year in middle school, didn't he?
Yeah, last year he broke his arm.
Because they had a pretty good team.
Yeah, they were pretty decent. I mean, because they were playing a pretty tough game. I don't remember who it was. And the moment he went down, it kind of just dropped it off for him because he was that middle school leader for him.
Mm-hmm. So when you think of playing football, when you get older, when you're my age and you're telling your grandkids what it was like to play Rocket football, what are you going to tell them? And to play at Rocket Stadium on Friday night.
I ain't going to have much words. I mean, I get chills every time I run out that tunnel. It's like, man, you can't explain it. It's just a whole different feeling.
Coach, talk a little bit about Pointy.
He's my quarterback of the defense. Does a really good job at it. He's had a good year. Played really well last year as a sophomore. Played a ton. And he's just a good player. Really values football. Really good young man. I think one of our leaders and somebody especially we'll look to as a senior. All 3 of these guys. He's always at practice. He's always leading the right way. He's always going to do the right thing. And, man, when players are like that, they're working hard and they're doing the right thing. There's guys you can build around, and that's what cultivates winning at the end of the day. And he does as good a job of that as anybody on the team. Just always doing the right thing, always working hard. Really smart and intelligent player. I've said that for a long time, and he continues to show that. I put a ton on him, and that's just kind of comes with the position and what we do defensively. And he handles it really well. He can handle me getting after him a little bit. We can have a football conversation. He can understand what I'm talking about and put it into play onto the field. So just really important that me and him have great communication, and he does a great job with it. Mm-hmm. And just always takes the coaching no matter what it is.
Mm-hmm. And that comes with the territory. A guy that's it's been in your family, it's in your blood, and you're kind of born to play.
Yeah.
And then one day it'll be over. I always tell everybody you've got 4 years to play and a lifetime to talk about it.
Yeah.
So enjoy it while you're there. Let's review real quick. Here in the last segment of the show, we're going to talk a little bit about the playoffs. So the pairings are set. Todd Central will be at Mayfield. Edmonson County will be at Murray. Caldwell will be at Fort Campbell. And Crittenden County will be at Ocath. This is going to be a tough – whoever comes out of this district, very likely be in a state championship game. I mean, in this region, excuse me.
In the region. Yeah, could. I don't know how the RPI is setting up to see if they could stay away from each other again like last year. Mm-hmm. Meeting Ocath and Mayfield, or if 2 teams could, or Murray. You just never know. But really good football on this side of the state, that's for sure, in 2A.
Yeah, of course. Like you said, 2 of these teams were in the state championship game. And it was a close game. Mayfield eked by them to win that game. And, Class 2A, we're living in a tough time to be in Class 2A in West Kentucky football.
Yeah, 2A. We're in the SEC of 2A, too.
No,
so we really
are.
I mean, it's the toughest district in the state by far. I mean, yeah, just really tough. Really, but it makes us better. It's good football. And like I've told them, we're this close to being a 2 seed, and that's how it works. I mean, we just made a couple too many mistakes, and then you end up being a 4 seed. But when you play good teams, you know, that's just what happens. And just the reality of how things go sometimes. We've put ourselves in this hole, and we just got to live with it. This week we're just focused on Callaway, but we understand that we've made a tough road for ourselves in the playoffs.
Yeah, at one time this season, 4 teams from this region were in the top 10 in the state.
Yeah.
And there's still 3 of them.
Yes. Yeah.
You know, we've
All
fallen
in the
off.
top 5, I believe.
Yeah,
Those 3.
they were all the
Yeah.
top 5. Yeah. So senior night, we mentioned that for a game. Let's talk a little bit. I mean, we just kind of really have been dealing with a lot of injuries lately. Anybody out this week? Who are we looking at?
Mankey's definitely out. Counts is definitely out. We've got some other guys that have been sick that hadn't been able to practice at all. I don't know. It's kind of going around.
Some
It's
key
kinda
players.
Very key players. So I don't know. You know, we got some other guys banged up. Tyree's still battling through, but he's still banged up. Is the reality of it. And there's a bunch of guys. And this time of the year, everybody's hurt, but we're going to have a lot of guys out. It seems like Seth Henry is another one that happened a couple weeks ago that we plan on playing a lot at defensive end. That had a shoulder issue, a separated AC joint a couple weeks ago. It's out, so he'll be out again. Am I missing anybody else?
That's enough. Stop now.
Yeah, we had 33 dressed at practice today, so we're thin.
And we had preseason 40.
At one point, we had 53, and then when things really settled down, we've been about 49. So that's around where we've been.
Yeah, it's been a season full of challenges and injuries and such. So, yeah, tough time. It's tough to navigate. I know as the coach too.
Yeah.
So you know this is a game again this weekend. You know, you look at the RPI, you look at the rankings coming in. I mean, we should be the favorite coming in. Who do we need to play well this week for us to win this game? We'll go around the table right here. Well, I'll tell you what, we'll start on this end and start with Pointy first. And who's got to play well? Could be yourself. Who's key to us winning this game?
The whole team.
Whole
That's
team?
just plain and simple. I mean, if one person plays good, it ain't gonna make a difference. You got to all play together, or nothing's gonna happen.
Yeah. Who needs to step up?
Honestly, I think our defense being able to stop the run.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they good running back down there. Would you say he's a pretty highly recruited type guy?
Well, I don't know about that. Preseason, he was on the top 10.
WPSD's deal,
preseason
yeah.
10. So I mean,
10 players.
That's a hard list to get on.
That's a hard list to get on.
Very respectable list.
So you think the defense? What do you think, Seth?
I think it's gonna be the offense, because we had so many turnovers last week, and that needs to be changed this week. We need to step up and just kill them this week on offense.
Mm-hmm. There you go. Team, defense, offense. Put it all together. Put it all together right here.
Special teams, I guess.
Special teams. It's all you got left. All right. Well, I know it's going to be a little bit of rain here later in the week, but it looks like it's going to be a nice night on Friday for football. Come out and let's celebrate these seniors who will be playing at Rocket Stadium for their final game, and they've been some good ones too. I know it's going to be an emotional deal for some of these guys, as it is, and these guys will go through it next year. You know, it's an emotional time. You've been there too, so. All right. Well, we appreciate you joining us on the show this week. We'll see you out at Rocket Stadium. Kickoff is 7 p.m. Get there early so you can watch senior night festivities and recognition.